How's it going, everybody? This is Danny B, and welcome to today's episode of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast here on my channel. We are joined by two of the co-hosts, Jarrett and Darian, and our special guest is Mr. Harris Liu. Welcome, Harris.
Hey, thank y'all for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, it's good to have Harris on, man. For those of you who don't know him, Harris, why don't you give us a brief dossier of who you are?
Well, I'm currently a graphic designer for NASCAR, the company itself. I focus on mostly licensing, social media, photography, media day, things like that. I'm part of a 9 or 10 person team with people spanning in the Charlotte office and the Daytona office. We pretty much cover all the look and feel and design work of everything you see come from our NASCAR channels and the signage you see at track that has to do with playoffs or throwback or things, our big NASCAR initiatives.
Oh, that's good to hear, man. That's awesome. That's a pretty good gig. How'd you end up getting this gig? Talk about your route, up to this point.
I started out with my buddy, short tracks where everybody starts. My buddy Kenny in high school started racing. He actually quit T-ball. We played T-ball together. He quit T-ball to go start a go-kart career. I unfortunately had to keep playing T-ball. But later on, when he got to late model stocks and things of that nature, I grabbed a camera and started following him to the track. And, they let me throw tires around. They let me, work on the car, get it ready, and while also run out there and take pictures when he was on track. And that led to, doing art in high school and taking that to a career or to college at East Carolina University. Did the normal art school thing, honed my craft. I was always a drawer. Huge inspiration in my life was Sam Bass. I got my first program cover in 97 at the Winston where, Jeff Gordon was in the T-Rex car. Earnhardt was in the Wheaties car. Both cars that Sam Bass had helped, designing and got him to the track and just tried to emulate that program cover. And that fueled my passion to go to college for art. In college, I tried to, focus my projects on car related things, whether it be Mustangs, which I'm a huge fan of, and I've got 2 of, or NASCAR, and used designing my buddy's late model stock car for Martinsville in 2013 as my senior project in college. So went through, designed the whole car. It was right when the C7 Corvette came out and everybody was running the Chevy SS decals. And me and my buddy sat around. He's a huge Corvette fan. And we were like, how do we make this a Corvette? So took it and grabbed the rear end, put the quad pipes on it, and really made it a Corvette. And that was my senior project. On the other side of the road, I was still doing Mustang stuff and taking pictures of Mustangs and designing things and doing renders when the 2015 Mustang came out. And that landed me my first job, which was late model restoration out in Texas, the Mustang Parts Company. So I went out there right after graduation, spent a year learning how to make catalogs, social media posts, promos, and had a job. Had an old classmate send me a job posting for NASCAR in, I think it was October. It was right before Black Friday. And I got my first phone interview with NASCAR while I was stacking boxes in a 53-foot box trailer when the company was pretty small. So everybody was all hands for Black Friday. And I was stacking boxes and got a call from Charlotte. And it was like, hey, this is NASCAR. Would you like to interview? And I'm like, heck yes.
Yeah.
So went through that. Went through the interview process, started in 2016. And it's been a dream job ever since. It's really the only job I would have left the other job for. Because the Mustangs and, that's my other passion. It's now my side business and my current hobby. But I've been extremely lucky to get where I'm at in such a quick period of time and to, have the opportunities to work with the people that I'm working with and have the opportunity to be here talking to you guys.
That's awesome. It's great to hear.
Now I know in terms of like recent projects, I know you had a little bit to do with the really well-made production video for William Byron's throwback, correct?
Yes. Thankfully, Brooke Rosenberg and Matt Little, my 2 driver services connections at NASCAR, they pulled me in on that, which driver and team services, they help out with, driver marketing and, some of the behind-the-scenes footage you see from drivers' channels at track. And William Byron's team reached out to ask if we could help out with their throwback reveal. And, they reached out to me. And, of course, Days of Thunder is one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie of all time. So I got to serve as, kind of director / authenticity, coach there. And I got to provide everything from wardrobe to direction to rewriting the script to fit, William and me, Brooke and Matt, went up there to Hendrick and got to pull out the original, 46 car and get Chad and William into it. And it was a really fun day. Chad Knaus was awesome.
Okay.
William was awesome. And they really got into it. We filmed quite a bit of stuff. And they really got into character and had a ball. So it was pretty unreal. And, sitting there, one of the many pinch myself moments I've had in this job, just like, pressing record on that camera and having Byron turn into Cole Trickle. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
So you got to tell Chad Knaus what to do.
Yes.
He had to listen to you. That's awesome. That's great.
And being the person that I am, I showed up wearing my Earnhardt Petty 7-7 shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my 7-7 and I'm directing a 7 here.
7 right there. Yeah.
777. So nothing can go wrong, but it was
awesome.
pretty amazing. And Chad was really cool. And on the way out, when we were done, we're sitting there packing up and we're putting up all the stuff. And I'm holding one of the wrinkled scripts that William had been tossing around all day. And he looks at me, he goes, "Was that William's script?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was." He's like, "Can I have that?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can have whatever you want."
You can have whatever you want, man.
Like, man, he's like, the older I get and the longer I do this, the more I want to hold on to this stuff. And that was like the coolest part. And I was like, man, he's a collector like us. He's probably got archives. He's just saving this because this is cool to him too.
Right.
That made me appreciate him that much more.
So I got to ask, is that like your favorite project you've ever worked on? Or is there something else that's like, people might not know as much about that's your favorite one? That
and doing it's my favorite, but it's an unfortunate one, but doing the Sam Bass Memorial decal, which Sam was a really good friend of mine. And from the day I met him was like, an older brother or a father figure in the art world to me. I don't think he ever met a stranger. It's like he just knew everybody, treated everybody like they were his best friend. And having that unexpectedly hit while I was standing on pit road in Daytona before the Xfinity race, it was the first thing I wanted to do was go grab my computer and do something to honor him. And that's a part of my job that's unfortunate, but really powerful. And it's a huge responsibility as my team handles those memorial decals that go on the A pillars of the cars.
Yeah.
So me and my coworker, Dana Whippy, pretty much handle most of those as they come through. And we try our best to dive into who they were as a driver, who they were as a crew chief, who they were as an engine builder. And bring some of that into their decal to really preserve them in the sport. So being able to do that for a friend, for somebody that I cared so much about was really powerful and really cool. And being able to talk to his family and stuff about it and give them the decals. And it was just, as unfortunate as it was just a really cool thing to see the industry support it.
There'll never be another man like him. You, Harris, you've become a really, good master at NASCAR art in terms of on the computer. But I mean, his art style was it took so much more time to do it by hand, like he did everything, and it's incredible. One of my favorite things about because I've always been so close to Bristol would be going to those races and getting the old race weekend, catalogs basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he would always have done the cover for it, and it's like it's sad it can't keep going.
My favorite covers were his, and my two favorite races that I ever went to, he did the cover. The 97 Winston, which I was like almost 4 years old, and that's what kind of got me into it. And then the 2011 50th night race is what I went to that really sparked my interest back into the sport. Because I was playing football in high school and I had become kind of a lapsed fan. And but my buddy Kenny, that I was also doing the short track stuff with, took me to the Bristol night race, and that was just that got me. I was right back on board. Brad Kay won it. He did a burnout up the ramp to victory lane. I was like, all right, I'm back.
That's it. Yeah.
We went a few weeks ago, man. Now it's almost a few months ago. It was just
feels like for a lifetime ago. Man.
We were walking in, and I'm a big Cub fan, and I was just telling the guys, I'm like, walking in here is like the first time I walked into Wrigley Field. I'm like in awe of this place.
And
insane.
You can watch the vlog on my channel. I mean, I remember Jarrett specifically said when we was just driving, we were on the highway, and he said it's just like when I saw Wrigley.
Yeah. Come around that corner, and there's coming in the hills, and it's just right there. It's like
get past that tree line, and boom, there it is.
And then at the very moment we entered the speedway, we saw our other YouTube buddies on the left, and they were like, "Hey!" We're like, and that was just perfect moment right there. That was just spontaneous. That wasn't planned. That was awesome.
And it was so full of energy. I really loved the because I was filming from my phone, so I got like my point of view, and my fiance was filming it too, and in my edit had kept going back and forth, and then unfortunately Rusty knocked my phone down. It just added on to the excitement of that moment.
Yeah, I think I watched Rusty's from that day. I watched somebody's from that day. If I'm at work, it's one of you guys and like the other 3 or 4 out there that are in the background on repeat playing Slap Shoes, Iceberg. I keep you guys on the screen at NASCAR headquarters because I'm always trying to learn more here.
Cool.
We got an insider.
That's cool to know, because we've had this conversation before, and we're like, I wonder if they ever are just like watching us. But
does anyone watch us? And like this year, we've gotten confirmation. We've gotten confirmation from a bunch of people this year that
Brandon Williams over in the esports. We always like go back and forth. Brandon's really cool.
We also met Matt. Damn, I can't say his last name. Matt. Crap. How do you say his last name? He works in no. He works in communications. So I can never say his last name though. But I got to talk with him at Las Vegas, and he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, this year has been amazing though. Just in general, like what we've been able to get to learn about the sport. Like you probably had that before us, where it's just like you see or hear or see how something's done. You're like, oh wow. I literally had no idea what I was talking about.
I had no clue. I was like, okay.
The behind the scenes stuff we get to see is pretty unreal. I mean, we're in charge of doing all the documents that go out to the teams. So we see the rule changes. We have to draw up where stuff goes. We do the playoff decal layouts, and unfortunately, I'm gonna say it right here so everybody, the big white lunch tray decal. with the emojis on it from last year. That was me. I apologize. It wasn't the best solution. I didn't agree. I agree that it was a bad idea, but I was having to deal with the RTA and NASCAR, and everything was uneven, so that was the even solution.
You're probably listening to us going, damn it, I can't catch a break.
As soon as the first decal rolled out of a garage, I was like, yep, here we go.
It's like, so ugly. You're so damn ugly.
At least after a little while, they did a clear background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the worst thing was I used Kyle Busch's car to mock it up, because he's got the most busy car. He's got the different colors. I'm like, if he puts this bowing emoji that's yellow on every one of his cars with those different M&Ms there, it's going to look bad.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he matches the emoji to the color of his car. And I'm like, my whole argument is gone.
I have to ask, though, because obviously the playoff guys had their own unique ones. Like, why did we go just like the Snapchat image and then like NBC for some of them?
Well, that space, since contingencies they found are more valuable to, buy, let's say, a 30-second ad on YouTube or, a paid post on social. It's more valuable to the eyes that are watching the NASCAR channels than if they put a little, mechanics decal underneath the series logo. So that opened up a lot of that space underneath our series marks. And so that the playoff emoji was the test to see if that space was marketable and was sellable to our partners. So then once we found out that, hey, it got a lot of conversation, whether it was good or bad, it got a lot of conversation. Snapchat and NBC and Twitter stepped in to like, hey, this is a valuable spot. We can promote our initiatives here too. When, now we have this open spot and teams have started to sell it too. I know if you look at like JTG and they use the spot for a can of Bush's baked beans or something like that. So it's more real estate and it's more sellable area on the cars, and it's better for partners to be right there in front of the number on the side of the car. Think about, if you buy a die cast, it's right there. So it's a good spot and it's open, and it was a test, and it worked out in the long run.
I guess it's very similar to like in the NASCAR's Canadian series. They've been testing, the idea of like the side sponsor being, the big actual side panel to number in the back, and then in the NASCAR Heat series, they've been doing that over there as well. So I get it. Yeah, all that space is marketable.
Yeah. Now the only thing they need to fill out over at that team is the driver's slot. Now they got to fill that out.
Yeah, that's been a big conversation today.
Yeah, big conversation. Might be a perfect segue into the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe let's kind of go into, I guess, what you guys is. I guess we'll talk about that right now, and then after that, go into the race. But the big news of the day, basically being that Stenhouse is out at Roush.
The Fastenal curse is real.
Yes, I told y'all, bro. I mean, Fastenal, y'all did it to yourselves, man. Y'all did it to yourselves. This is not Stenhouse's fault. This is all your guys' fault. Y'all flagged my video. Y'all took the video down. This is what happens.
I mean, it's not like Fastenal's hurting. They're probably just fine with Buescher, so.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm lifting it now because I love Chris Buescher, man. And I've been saying this right from the jump. Chris Buescher deserves to be in a better ride, and he's finally going to get that opportunity. I mean, it seems like Roush Racing is coming back. They're finally coming back, and it's such a sight to behold because, I mean, I remember last year, like Stenhouse wasn't running that well coming off of his first playoff appearance. And then Trevor Bayne, he's a nice guy, but I don't know, he just wasn't getting it done at the time. And then they brought in Kenseth to sort of come in and clean up the mess that Bayne had made. And then he brought that team back to relevance somewhat. I mean, that team would run up front, and then they bring in a veteran like Ryan Newman, and Ryan Newman might make the second round now too. So it's crazy. But the only problem on that team was that 17 car. I'm like, okay, they just need to figure out that, the 17's problem. And at first it was looking like, okay, well, Stenhouse is going to be here until 2021. So he's going to be here for a while. So hopefully they can get it fixed. But I mean, according to Adam Stern, they decided to pull the plug a few weeks ago. And then they asked, hey, Chris, former champion of ours in the Xfinity Series, want to come back for a little reunion, but this time in the Cup Series? And Chris Buescher was like, hell yeah. And this caught JTG Daughtry. And remember, I said Dottie back in the day. JT, I see a few of y'all in the chat. JTG Daughtry Racing off guard because they were ready to re-sign him. And I think they were in the window to re-sign him, but then Chris Buescher just totally shocked them, totally threw the rug right from under them. So now they got to get that slot filled. But I don't know if we're going to get into early predictions for Chris Buescher, I'd say playoffs. No doubt playoffs. He'll make it in on points. I don't know about a win just yet. I think he'll make it in on points.
I don't want to say that just yet.
I mean, I feel like he can get the 16th or 15th seed on points right away. I feel like that's doable for him.
I'd say so. I mean, I honestly, I do at this point, comparatively, I think that he's better than Ryan Newman in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He's been performing better than Ryan Newman the past 12 or so weeks with inferior equipment. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be able to make the playoffs, especially seeing how a lot of these better teams too have been sort of diminishing in their results. I mean, some of the SHR cars are doing worse than Buescher did at JTG. You see a lot of, I honestly right now he's probably about the 12th to 14th best car out there, or driver results in general out there over the last half of the summer and into the playoffs and stuff. So, even just going to a team that in my opinion is mediocre right now, like Roush, I could totally see Buescher, performing well enough to make it no problem. I think he has a better shot of making it next year than Jimmy Johnson does. Which,
hey.
They're basically the same in points right now with completely different ends of the equipment spectrum.
Poor Johnson.
I've got some stats here I'd like to read off to you guys. Go ahead. The first, I'm going to do two comparisons here. The first comparison is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. versus Ryan Newman.
Mm-hmm.
Going head to head, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has beat Ryan Newman 7 times. Ryan Newman has beat him 21 times this season.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, none have had a win this season. Stenhouse has had 1 top 5 this season. Newman has had 2. Stenhouse has had 2 top 10s. Newman has had 11. Newman has an average finish of 13.5, and Stenhouse has an average finish of 20th. Now, here is Stenhouse versus Chris Buescher. Stenhouse has beat out Chris Buescher 10 times this season. Chris Buescher has beat Stenhouse 18 times this season.
With inferior equipment.
Buescher has not had a top 5, where Stenhouse has had 1. But Buescher has had 4 top 10s to Stenhouse's 2, and Buescher has an average finish of 17.6 to Stenhouse's 20.9.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my god.
That just makes me have more confidence in Buescher moving forward, honestly.
He's going to make the playoff, man. I mean, and I feel for Stenhouse too, because Stenhouse, I mean, really, he came in, wrong place at the wrong time here. Coming off of 2 Xfinity championships, comes into the Cup Series full time in 2013. Everyone's expecting him to do awesome things in that 17 ride, replacing Matt Kenseth. But little do we know at the time that Roush is they're regressing a ton, and then like the memes with him dating Danica and stuff. It's like it seemed like it was more about Danica at times than actually him. Like people cared more about Danica than he did. And then 2017, he finally shows up, puts together some solid results. And it's like, okay, he's making the playoffs. Like, okay, like now Roush might be back, but then, it was never sustained. So I did a poll on my Twitter today. Is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. a bust? And I was very surprised. 64% so far have said yes. And I'd say let's just hold the brakes a little bit because Stenhouse isn't done yet. I mean, he could go somewhere else.
I don't expect him to be done after this.
Yeah. He's not done.
It's like, I like this in the chat. Slap says, the poster child of chaotic neutral shall bring the number 17 back to dominance.
Calling it. Yes.
So, hey, there's your boy Slap in the chat if you want to tell him anything, man.
Right now, from what we know, we have the 38 is open, and now obviously the 37. But now we have 3 drivers that, could all be counted as being deserving of a ride. Corey LaJoie, Daniel Hemrick, and Ricky Stenhouse. Of those 3, who do you guys think will be more likely to not have something?
Well, more likely to not have something. That's hard because I think Stenhouse is going to have a ride somewhere. Out of LaJoie and Hemrick, I mean, Hemrick has a history. Like Hemrick hasn't won a NASCAR race, but like he's always been consistently running inside the top 5 or 10 in like the Truex and Xfinity. So like there's a bit of success there with Corey with Corey LaJoie. Like I mean, he's been in inferior equipment his whole career, it seems like. So at the same time, I don't know. I'd definitely like to see LaJoie end up in like the 37. So I'd say Hemrick probably might not be back in the Cup Series next year, and maybe he'll go back to Xfinity, find some ride out there. But I mean, it's tough because like we're in the month of September, almost we're about to be in October, and pretty much plans are set for 2020. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here. It's very late in the game to be making different plans at this time of year.
In an ideal world, I'd love to see Hemrick actually get with Junior Motorsports and be in their number 8 car.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that too. But I would also, I mean, just meeting Corey LaJoie personally, I would love to see him in that 37. Don't you agree, Jared? I would love to see him in there.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see that.
I would definitely like to see that. The fans would like to see that too.
Corey LaJoie and Ryan Preece's teammates. I think it'd be a good combination.
All I know is wherever Corey goes, I hope he takes the paint scheme guy with him.
Yeah,
David over at with the 32 team has become the king of awesome paint schemes. The Scooby Doo, the Old Spice, the SMD did the Crunch car. I mean, and Corey went all in, and Corey just that's the major respect there that they went all in on every one of their paint schemes. So wherever he goes, I hope he carries that with him.
Well, absolutely. It's kind of like I was watching a clip from Junior's show this past week, and he was like, I want when he went to Hendrick, he's like, I want to have input on the sponsors. The side skirts need to be painted. Like his biggest issue is the paint scheme, and I love what he said. He's like, I can't understand a driver being in a car and not caring if it looks like crap or not. Like,
yeah, I don't.
I mean, sometimes it's not their choice, unfortunately. From working with a few of them, that they get things in their contracts here and there that certain people have say, and certain things don't happen. So there's a lot of them that probably do care, but they just don't have control. And for Junior to ask for control like that was a huge, foresight for him. And he's definitely after working on that old Milwaukee car last year for Reddick, he's all in. I mean, if he thinks something's cool, he's going to make it happen. So props to Junior for that too.
I remember when Junior was coming over to Hendrick in 2008. I think it was ESPN who had this documentary on how they were going about like unveiling the car, and I wish I could find it. I can't find it anywhere.
No, I remember like they were giving him options like, oh, do you want to run the number 81?
Yeah,
like there was the 81, the 80, the 88. Yeah, there were so many options.
No, I actually have that. It came with when you bought, like, they had them on those little mini discs or whatever, like the CD-ROM or whatever, and they would sell them with AMP back in 2008, 2009. So I got that sitting somewhere collecting dust at my house.
I gotta find that and upload it.
I should upload that, man. I should upload that on my channel sometime. Be like, hey, by the way, here's this.
That'd be a good that'd be a good work watch for me.
Put it on Reddit. Reddit loves that stuff.
I remember that one really because like Junior had such a role in that. Like they were showing him like, okay, well this could be your Mountain Dew car, this could be your National Guard car. And they were like both entirely different. And like ultimately he was like, hey, we got to have something that like reflects the same car no matter what the sponsor is.
Right. Yeah, but
I think we've let these guys wait long enough. It's a half hour in already. 122 watching. Lick that like button and
lick the like button.
Go into the Richmond review. Unless Danny, I think you got a few super chats you can rattle off.
You had like 3.
We've had quite a few super chats here, so I'm gonna take.
Hey, Sloppy Joe, what's going on? Sloppy Joe in chat.
Oh yeah. First super chat tonight comes in from Reverend Rasheem Stewart. What's up, Reverend?
What's up, bro? I love him. Love that dude.
$1.99. Do you think that Bubba should go to the 37 car? I mean, I don't. Well,
I would love that.
Here's the thing. I would like it, but we don't. And this is another thing. We're gonna have to watch the silly season come up, and I'm really worried because we know that they just barely got that car funded for this year. We don't know nothing about next year right now.
I believe he said that they're working on it. Yeah, it's a lot better.
They said it's already better than 17 into 18 or 18 into 19. So
I haven't heard too much on that, and it was it's kind of worrying me. So that's good then. If that's the case, I think Bubba he loves his team over there with the 43 car.
They've been running better too.
He has pride in that 43 car. You can tell it. But we all just want to see better results.
And he finished 13th last week too. I was like, damn, good job, Bubba.
And he ran great at
12th.
Indy too. So.
No, I finished 12th because Eric Jones got his
12th. That's right. That's right. We were going to get
technicalities.
Technicalities. There you go. Finished 12th. Good job, Bubba.
And okay, second one is from the Black Hole Guy, $2. Danny, thanks for liking my spooky skeleton tweet.
You're welcome.
Next one, we got $1.99 from our guy Sloppy Joe. Yo man, I loved your Darlington concept for Reddick. That's the Harris.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah, we were talking about that before the show.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do those. And unfortunately, they didn't pan out, but it's still a long season left, and it's still their 50th year. So maybe somebody can twist somebody's arm over there to make it happen. But yeah, it's Reddick's a good friend of mine. We came up in Mustangs together. Don't tell Chevrolet. but he now has a Corvette or a Camaro, ZL1. So he's gone over to the Chevrolet side. But
there's also next year. There's also next year too.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. Who knows? Silly season is upon us. But Reddick's really cool and worked with me on those and then they landed the 7-Eleven blue deal. And ended up doing a Kyle Petty throwback. So it all worked out in the end for him, and everybody seemed to like my concept. So we both won there.
Yeah. We got one more just came in from Miskel Hobo 1018.
What a name.
$3. Who is better in 5 years? Matty B? I think you mean Matty D.
Matt DiBenedetto. Matt DiBenedetto.
Or Christopher Bell. Okay, that's something that's hard for me to say because in 5 years, I don't know what Matt DiBenedetto's future is going to be like. I definitely feel like Christopher Bell will still be around.
Well, according to my Twitter, I've been making predictions, 2029 rosters, so I can see the future. I predict Christopher Bell in 5 years. He will be the better guy.
I see Matt DiBenedetto in a span of 5 years. I see him winning at least 3 races, but Christopher Bell, I'd probably see him having. He'll be with Joe Gibbs within 5 years, probably within in one of those squads. I don't think in 5 years. I don't know if Hamlin or Busch would still be around. Maybe.
I'd say Hamlin or Truex. I'd see Busch. Like Busch still has 10 years left in him. honestly.
Yeah, maybe because Truex he's been racing for a while now.
Yeah, he's pretty old. Yeah, he's pretty old though. He's still winning though. Yeah, still winning.
Speaking of winning,
it's so weird to talk about because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Speaking of winning, let's talk about how he was doing at Richmond.
Yeah, he did it again, man. So I was at the bull ring, so like I only got to catch glimpses of the race, but I don't know what the deal was with Austin Dillon and the 88. I heard that was payback. Was that payback or like?
Well, payback that was advised by the crew chief.
Austin didn't even want to do it. Austin probably felt like it was a racing deal, but they were just like, go get him, go spin.
Wait, the crew chief said that?
Yeah.
That's the first. I never.
It was a Chad Knaus, William Byron.
In reality, all my biases aside, like from what I saw of it, Bowman just went low and Dillon came down into him. That's all I saw.
When I saw the 3 wreck the 88 on Twitter, I was like, oh, that's just Dale Sr. wrecking Dale Jr. for leaving DEI, basically. That's basically what I saw. I don't know, just making light of it. But I don't know. I mean, it's entertaining, I guess. But a lot of people on Twitter were like, oh, Alex Bowman should do something after the race. And I'm like, bro, Alex Bowman looks like the type of dude who you laugh at, when he gets angry. It's like, this fool, he's gonna do something. He ain't gonna do nothing. Like, I mean, come on now. Like we talk about these, vanilla personalities, these sandpaper personalities. Like, I don't see Alex Bowman like fighting someone after a race. I'm sorry, I don't.
You gotta watch out for.
And maybe, but in this case, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it is. But he's in the hole now, unfortunately. And so is Eric Jones, unfortunately, too. Eric Jones. Second.
He's done.
No,
he's got to win. Like, that's all he can do.
It's sad because Joe Gibbs, they finished 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, okay, finally, Eric Jones has some luck. But look, second season in the playoffs, and he can't seem to find any sort of luck. Now, Jarrett, you had him making the round of 8, correct? I think I had him making the round of 8 too.
Yeah, but that was also without the added problem of losing all your points in the previous race.
Yeah, like, I mean,
and 2 years in a row, like, big issues at Vegas for him.
Yeah, he was last year he was involved in Harvick's mess, and this year, oh crap, I was at the race. What happened this year? Oh, he just blew an engine, I think, right? Yeah, I forgot. I think he just blew an engine. I was there too.
Being in a must-win scenario at the Roval cannot be a good feeling. Like,
just Leroy Jenkins into the corner, man.
Yeah, go all out.
Well, if you remember last year in practice at the Roval, he did Leroy Jenkins into the chicane back there.
And also,
before they changed those tires.
and also another surprising disappointment, Kurt Busch. He's 14 points out now.
That shocked me.
Yeah, that shocked me. I was like, damn, Kurt Busch is really that far behind. But then again, Kurt Busch had the blown tire at Las Vegas, and then didn't really have that much of a run to speak of last weekend. So he's in a must-win situation. And then 13th and 14th are the 2 Hendrick cars, correct? William Byron and Alex Bowman?
Or 12th and 13th.
Or I'm sorry, 12th and 13th.
They are literally separated by 2. That is going to be
2 points.
Incredible battle to watch.
Yes, it's going to be very good.
Who are y'all picking there, Bowman or Byron?
Ooh,
Byron.
Byron.
I don't know. Bowman ran really well in the Roval last year.
He did run really well.
But I think it's a road course and you need strategy to win. I'd rather pick Chad Knaus than Greg Ives.
All day. Yeah, all day, man. Yeah, all day. But, I mean, as far as the race goes, Truex, pulled off the classic spin and win there. Stenhouse looked like he just locked up the right front and, just unfortunately spun out the leader. But, of course, he was getting a ton of mess on Twitter afterwards. And I was like, the Fastenal curse once again. And then we had the news today.
Maybe it was right after that. They were like, you're fired. You're done.
Yeah, maybe they were just like, okay, we've had enough. We're done. But Truex just goes on to dominate. But unfortunately, Richmond for me. Now this is just me personally. I don't know. I used to look forward to Richmond races when I was a kid, but like lately, I don't know. It's like it's one of those tracks where it's like not a whole lot has exciting has happened in recent years. I guess like other than the 2014 spring race, I can't really remember a Richmond and also the 2016 finish. I don't know, like the Richmond races for me are kind of like they're sort of dull as of late, I guess. I don't know, but I'd give the race a 6 out of 10, maybe. I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
You're more gracious than I.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty average. It's one of those races that we'll forget about next week. So
I can't remember it. Richmond, is it still in the playoffs next year, or is that the one where Bristol took over?
It's still.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I gave it a 5 out of 10. This is like every the last 3 races to me have been all completely utterly average. Like I don't hate them. It holds my interest, but not enough for me to say that I'm like, man, this is a really good way to spend 3 hours kind of deal. Which is really sad because like the races leading up to it over the summer, like we had a great summer comparatively to years past.
Yeah.
And it was like it just is like, oh, football's about to come back. Well, it's time to literally just curl up and die as the season goes on. I know some people were pretty upset about it. I can see some people in the chat are very upset about it.
Damn, I even saw a 1 out of 10. Dang, it wasn't that bad.
I wasn't that bad. Like it was not 2014, fall race bad, but it was not 2014 spring race good. It was right in the middle, in my opinion. So when we're talking about races over the season, someone's like, "What'd you think of Richmond?" I'm like, "Wait, we raced at Richmond?"
Oh yeah, that's right, we did. I was at the bull ring. I was watching some very good racing over there.
5 out of 10 for me. And then we'll do the poll in a little bit. We can't pull it up with our setup right now, so you get to look at me read.
Yeah.
By the way, when we started, I saw a lot of people mentioning that in the chat. They really liked the new setup. Just so y'all know, with Google Hangouts going away, we're on Zoom now.
The Zoom era. Let the Zoom era begin, man. It's
Screw
great.
Google.
Yeah, freaking Hangouts, dude.
As we're on their second biggest platform.
This is more high definition. You got all of us here at one time anyway. So
yeah, no more roboting. That's a thing of the past, man. Oh, it's great. I can finally see y'all too, and like don't have to see y'all like like freaking the way it's always sounding and stuff as of recently. But this is great.
What'd you think, man? What'd you think, Harris?
I was there, so I didn't get to see any of the broadcasts or anything. But from pit level, it was watching the battles, watching the little mini battles, watching Kyle Busch and Martin Truex go at it, which that's been fun watching them go at it all year. There's a little bit of animosity there with Truex coming in and being as successful as he is right off the bat. And I'm kind of a Truex fan. My girlfriend Emily works for his management company, and so we enjoyed ourselves. We liked the race. Shout out to Emily working for TMG, a Truex management group. She actually designed his little brother's car that's running at the Roval this weekend in the Xfinity race.
Nice.
Damn.
A big point of jealousy for me is that she got a diecast made before I did. So, check this out. Shout out to Marquis Spas. It's got their little mascot, their little rubber ducky on the back.
That's dope. That's sick.
Kind of that Splash Cup vibe. She came up with it based on their logo, the big M, the swooping M there.
You know what's really making me think of? Like those old 90s like styrofoam cups. You know what I'm talking about?
The Splash Cup. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got that vibe there. Yeah.
He's got a helmet to match by Off Axis this weekend, and they'll be out there in the Junior Motorsports 8 car. So shout out to him.
He's to have one of those cups in his hand too.
Definitely.
There you go.
So I gotta say, you're bringing up Truex. Like he was the one who kept my attention with that spin and win. Like I got that was impressive as hell. And after the race too, it's like, how can you not like that? Like that dude was so excited.
He was so hyped.
He's such a genuine dude. The first time I met him, right after Emily got her job, I was wearing one of my Earnhardt T-shirts underneath a blazer, and it was their holiday party, and he hadn't met me yet. And he was like, "Oh, shout out to you with the Earnhardt shirt on. I got to come meet you later." And he came over and we had a drink and stuff. Just coolest dude ever.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm kind of biased, and I thought the race went pretty well. And his little practice burnout, thanks to Stenhouse, paid off later. So.
I wish he would win a really, really super exciting, like all-time great race, so people can stop saying every race he wins is boring. Like,
I know.
Objectively,
the price of domination, man.
Yeah, but I want to see one where it's like the Roval last year, except it's him going through and winning right at the end. That would be awesome.
He was about 100 feet away from winning it last year.
Okay. Imagine this scenario. Go back to that, except Blaney and all them are quite a few seconds behind. It's just him and Johnson, and then just throw it in reverse, and there you go.
That would be an all-time finish right there. It still wasn't all-time
Ricky
finish.
Bobby's it in reverse.
Yeah.
I could totally see Kyle Busch doing that. I could totally see him being like, I'm like 8 seconds ahead still. Okay, reverse.
We saw Larson smack every wall on his way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Last year.
Straight up NASCAR hate for wall popped it.
Yeah, pretty much. No, NASCAR Heat 3 at the time. No, NASCAR Heat 4. You can't really do that now. But yeah. But no, speaking of teams, though, one team that didn't show up was Hendrick. What was up with them, man? Like, I mean, even Bubba Wallace was passing Chase Elliott towards the end.
They were there at Vegas, but not at Richmond.
Hendrick they didn't show up. Those races. Like, they have at least 1 or 2 a year, like, anymore. I've noticed it even started back in, like, 2014, 2015 at times, where just all their cars just suck for like a race, like here or there. Like, it's just like they have like that once a year they have it where just the best car is 13th all day kind of thing. I think they picked the worst possible time to do that this year. But I'm not surprised that it happened. Just that it happened right now of all times.
Yeah. And I don't know, when you really think about it, like I look at, you know, them as a team, you know, as a whole, I'm just looking more towards the future anyways. Like, you know, I'm waiting for Byron and Bowman to develop a little bit more. And then, I don't know, wondering if Jimmy Johnson's going to come back in the fold of things. It's just weird. We are in the playoffs and Johnson's basically irrelevant. Like, they didn't even talk about him really during the broadcast. Like, I'm not used to that. Like I'm used to them talking about Johnson every single week, but like this year they're just, I don't know, this playoff time and he's not in there, and it just feels weird.
I mean, with that being said, like, this weekend does give them a good chance to bounce back with Hendrick's road course program. Obviously, Elliott having a good program, you know, won at Watkins Glen. He was running good at Sonoma, but had an issue.
And Byron was running pretty well at Sonoma too. And, you know, Watkins Glen, he was running pretty decent, you know, until he decided to pay back Kyle Busch I mean, if you're trying to pay back Kyle Busch, you're gonna lose, dude. Like, don't even try it. Like, you might as well just stop. Don't even try it, man. Like, Busch is gonna win every single time.
The king of payback's gonna know when it's coming.
Yeah, exactly. And he did. He stepped on the brakes, and then even Jack Nelson was like, "What the hell? Like you just ruined our race, dude."
Chad's the one who told him to do it, though.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, nah, good point.
To be fair, he saw it coming off Byron. He didn't see it coming from Bubba.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Don't want to mess with Bubba either.
He got it later.
Yeah.
I want to pass it on really quick to those in the audience, because we had a pretty good turnout with the poll this week. 3.4 thousand voted on it.
Nice.
So that's the highest we've had actually since the record-setting one at Watkins Glen. Though it was not as good of a race according to them as Watkins Glen. They had 8% of people thought that this was a great race.
Truex.
Yes. 25% thought it was a good race. 50% said it was average. 11% said below average, and then 6% of you said it was terrible. So I'm going through here. Let's look at some of these comments. They should be spicy if there's some of them I remember. No B-movie script like last week, like IDK put.
Oh yeah, IDK put the whole script in there.
He was a national treasure. First comment: Richmond only needs to be one race. I said it before, and I'll say it again. If anyone doesn't believe me, they can watch my video. And it's a plug. No, of course it is. Personally, I think it's the car. I don't think it's Richmond. Richmond never was a problem for people with the COT, the Gen 4, and so on and so forth. I think it's a Gen 6 problem, not a Richmond problem. But let's see. Some of you guys are weird with your comments.
Like, wait, what do they say? What are they saying?
Nobody. Newman, I'm your mother. Okay, man.
Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube, Jared.
Newman is God. That's another one that's in there. Man, there's so many Newman ones in here. Jesus.
Hey, everyone's excited for Newman, man.
I freaked out when I saw him in third. I mean, I was
the top five.
I'll give him credit. He was doing well, and it wasn't off of like dumb luck either. They were fast.
Straight up.
You see, here's how it is. Mikey is the meme now. When our kids are doing this, it'll be Newman.
Yeah, it'll be Newman. Newman will be the meme. Like, my kid will be saying ride Newman 50,000 times.
Runnings racing, that's a pretty good one. If you look up average in the dictionary, you would find this race. Not awful, but not great. All right, let's see. There's someone blamed the car and the package. Someone said some not so nice things about Austin Dillon, then they have an Alex Bowman 88. So no bias whatsoever.
Yeah.
IDK, I'm not reading your comment this week. I know it's just to troll Sloppy.
You did it again. Oh, did you say something about RCR again?
That's RCR is half the comment. We'll just let you guess the rest of it. Brett Russ, Cowboys fan here. Podcast, please notice me. Consider yourself noticed.
We noticed you.
Let's see. I'm just gonna keep scrolling. There's a dude called Carnation Clip It. I am the last comment for the podcast. No, you're not.
No, you ain't.
Someone put, how about providing a didn't watch voting option? Yeah, they only allow me 5. Let's see. Man, you guys are harsh. I mean, you're really testing my cussing abstinence.
Yeah.
Let's see. Man, I'm trying to find a positive comment. Here we go. Found one. Streamville, you're amazing. This race was good with Newman running great and Dillon spinning Bowman. Hayley will win the championship this year. Great race by Hayley Deegan. I love this meme. And then let's go down to the final comment.
The final one.
Funny enough, it says first.
There you go.
Andrew, age 21. So thank you guys for voting in the poll. Let's see if we can. Let's see with the Roval if we can break the record this week. So when you guys vote on it next week, make sure to share it, and we'll see if we can get over 3,600. Let's get 4,000 votes on it this week for the Roval.
Yeah, he's been so close. Jared's been so close to 4,000 on his votes, man.
Let's call it Roval 4K.
Yeah, Roval 4K. Yeah. There you go.
So that's the poll. And really quick, one more thing about the race, the ratings. 1.05 rating, so we didn't go under 1 like a lot of people have been thinking, and 1.779 million viewers. So in the comparative numbers, it's plus 2% in ratings and plus 0.3. It's flat in viewership.
Hey, it still got that plus though.
I want to bring up. It's flat. I want to bring up one thing, and I'm so sick of people using this as an excuse. They're like, well, the Notre Dame game and with Georgia was on NBC, so that's why people didn't watch. It's like they've been going against college football for years and Saturday nights, and we never used it as an excuse before.
And also to point out, the Vegas race was up against a freaking Sunday night football game the same time, and it was up 9%. Oh, Jarrett, what'd you do?
I threw my pen and it went under the door and hit.
But yeah, no, I mean
tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm hyped today. Yeah, man. I mean, the Vegas race went up against freaking Sunday Night Football, and it was up 9%. So, like, but I don't know.
I just love that. No, because initially it was down. It's like, well, it went against football. It's like, oh wow, that's never happened before.
Yeah, that's never happened ever. Yeah.
What's NASCAR race on Sundays?
Yeah, NASCAR has never raced in the fall on a Sunday ever or a Saturday.
Let's just automatically forget the fact that one of the races last year that was up actually went against Tiger Woods in the majors. But no, the stuff going against it always makes it go down.
It's okay.
like come on, like the race went flat, which is, in this TV age is a good thing. Mm-hmm. It's good to go flat or have little increases. So I'm happy with that. It's another positive. Hey, I got a pen that works now. Another positive TV rating trend this year. So I'm good with it. I hope if the Roval goes up, that'd be incredible because the Roval was an increase last year. I don't think it will just because last year was the initial hype and like, oh my gosh, everyone has to tune into it. But if it's close to last year, I would consider that a success.
Well, they're doing their damnedest to promote the second edition this year.
They got even the pit road sponsored with stuff. I put on Twitter. I didn't know you could do that.
And also, Dale Jr. did this commercial like with the voice show, and he was like, and they were like playing like racing. He's like, I like that one. Like I like this.
They're doing it with each race. They switch out the footage.
That was the first time I seen it. So.
No, they did it for Vegas too, because I remember it was on there, and they did it for Vegas, and I'm just like, I love it. No, but I want to bring this up about the Roval sponsoring the pit entrance and pit exit, and I'm surprised no one thought about that before.
You can do that?
I really like it because it makes me think of like football fields when they'll have like a logo just out there on the field.
Yeah, that's actually pretty smart. I didn't like. Is Charlotte the first track to ever do that?
Charlotte's the first track to do it. It's been opened up for a possibility for maybe I think a year and a half, 2 years now. But
hey, come on, Vegas! We got to get us pit road sponsor now. Let's go. We got to step it up. We already have the Neon Garage and stuff already. We already have that place sponsored.
Invade Area 51 is the pit entrance.
Yeah, it's the pit entrance. Let's do that.
They now enter the Invade Area 51 pit road.
The memes, bro. The memes would be
we need to get a meme sponsor for one of those.
It's gonna be so hard for them to do, like, because Auto Trader is the exit of pit road. What's the one going in?
Let me check real quick. I know that
they're gonna get themselves confused at some point. I know because they're gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna make up a company here. Coming into the Lysol pit road and exiting the Auto Trader exit.
Yeah, they're gonna mess up. They're gonna mess it up at some point.
Man, I wish one of those sponsors would have been Extends back in the day.
Yes,
anyway. Oh man,
it would have been perfect. Yeah,
I would have just added to the Mark Martin jokes.
Yeah, Viagra.
Yeah, they go through the exit of pit road. Viva Viagra.
The Viva Viagra.
Harris, how would you feel if you was back in the late '90s, early 2000s with some of those sponsors? Like, what would be your creative approach for something like that?
That's honestly, I've got a lot of Mark Martin gear, and I do not have any of that era gear. I've been looking for some. The art style changed so much that it's not really my thing. But man, when that sponsor came in, I was a huge Valvoline Mark Martin fan. I was as a kid, I was kind of hurt, but I was, I embraced it. I've got a Mark Martin Viagra Christmas ornament, which it's a helmet with Viagra on it, on my Christmas tree at home. So it's interesting. Like, if somebody brought me a sponsor like that, I'd be like, okay, well, what do we want to do here and how do we handle it? So
yeah, I remember.
At first he had to be like, "Are you telling me I'm old?"
Yeah.
He's like, so I'm the poster boy for this?
Yeah, I remember as a kid, I had his diecast, and I was like, I didn't know what the hell Viagra was, and I was just like, yeah, this is a nice game. It's a nice game, though.
No, it'd be funny.
I got most of mine from Walmart, and it would have Pfizer on it.
And that too. Yeah, and also in NASCAR Thunder games too.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's like have an ornament. So it's like having an ornament on a tree. One day, your kid's like, what's Viagra? Well, come around the tree, kitties. Let's talk about what this is.
Well, NASCAR Thunder 2003, remember, it just said Mark Martin. So Viva Mark Martin.
Hold on, honey. I got to get a Mark Martin.
I got to get a Mark Martin.
Well, it's just like the beer cars in those games. Yeah, I love a good, cold, refreshing Sterling Marlin.
I love Dale Jr.
No, I love my DEIs, man.
Yeah. I got to give them props back then because they would actually match the name to the sponsor logo. Love Brad K to death, but they should make his Brad K look like the light. It's almost the same.
You should help out with that. You should help out with that here. Yeah. Yeah. You're also in the game too.
I am.
You're also in the game. Yeah.
Probably a bunch of you out there have wrecked me in the Extreme Dirt Series as Hugh Ackerman, which is Hackerman if you use the first initial. If nobody noticed that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you kept getting away at my season finale.
Yeah, I'm the number 07 champion motorsports driver.
Wait, what's your name in the game again?
Hugh Ackerman.
Okay, so next video, NASCAR bus Hugh Ackerman. There you go.
Yeah.
Please. That would be amazing.
I'm now gonna go out of my way to Matt Kenseth you into every wall.
Yeah,
every wall.
I was literally doing my championship in it today, and for whatever reason, it's me and obviously Tony Stewart was going to be the ones who got it. And for whatever reason, you was having the run of your life, just keeping Tony behind him.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
He kept Tony behind you.
It's pretty cool. They got us to do that last year. Me and my coworker Alex Brown, who's John Schneider in the game, the number 2 car. We both got to go down and pose in the Hall of Fame and make it look like we were drivers with the fire suit on. And so this is the second game we've been in. It's been pretty cool. And
Fish Productions in the chat actually said, "Lol, you're actually one of my rivals in the career mode."
Yes. But that parlayed into this year. Brandon Williams got us to do the new Creator car numbers. So
yes.
Me, my boss Richard, and my coworker Alex, all three of us got to do a number font. And so all the 00 through 99 that you can get in the Creator cars came from me and my team.
Nice. I have to talk to Zane, the community manager. I want to be in the game next year. I want to do that. I don't know. I wanted to ask him, can I just take a picture and just be in the game, please? That's awesome.
It's probably about time to update the roster.
Yeah, we got to update him. Yeah.
I'm all for a Dan B in the game. I mean, let's
Dude, Darren would be the type of driver who would finish 20th and have the most trash talking.
Hey, no. My name in the game. No, my name in the game, just call me OJ Simpson in the game.
All white car?
Yeah, all white car.
All people in the Dirt Series have to have a different name because, my another guy I know, Elliot Henderson. He was in as Elliot Henderson last year, but now he's Bobby Carter this year.
Yeah, they made him change his name. He actually thought we were gonna have to like get rid of all the names earlier this year. He's like, yeah, you might be like driver number 7, but thankfully I'm Hugh Ackerman again.
Oh yeah, and you guys took out the only freaking black dude in the freaking dirt series. I noticed that. You took out the only black guy.
What do you mean?
Yep.
He's still in mine.
No, there was. No, those are just light skins. There you go. But no, you took out the only dark skinned dude in the game. There you go.
I got the Motorsports fan 17 says have the OJ one be in the car 32.
Yeah, there we go. Put me in the 32, man. But yeah, I noticed that. Like that was my favorite driver in Heat 3 in the dirt series, and y'all just took him away from me. I'm like, damn it. Like, come on.
I specifically did it to spite you.
Yeah, pretty much. Now I have to play with light skins, man. I gotta play with the light skins in the game.
Okay.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yourself. What are you talking about?
Hey, I'm tired of us sometimes, dude. It's pretty too much, man.
All right. On that note, I probably need to read off some more super chats if there has been any.
There you go. Read them off. Damn, we're almost an hour into the show, too.
Okay,
oh, good Lord. We still have so much crap to talk about. Anyway, not crap. Interesting stories. I need to stay somewhat professional.
There hasn't been any more super chats, so we'll move on.
Oh, boo.
You don't think this is bad? You should hear what our fantasy football league is called.
No, I lost
anyway,
my light.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I had to plug my laptop in and I lost my light. But we're back.
It's all good, man. So I'll just lightning round really quick because that's half the crap on here.
Oh, let me do the intro. Lightning round. Go ahead. That's it.
Beautiful. So Dodge apparently has been racing in ARCA. Well, they can't do that anymore since they're part of NASCAR after this year. So you can officially say goodbye to Dodge after this year.
No.
DC Solar has a bankruptcy auction going on, and it includes Larson's Xfinity Daytona win car, the race that Justin Haley actually won. That's going to be in it. Another thing about the Roval race, 40 cars are on the preliminary entry list. So it looks like we'll have a full field for the first time in for one.
Is Stanton Barrett in this race again? He was in the race last year.
I did not look that close at it. I just
Chat, help us. Help me. Is he back?
Chat, fact check us.
Yeah.
According to Bob Pockris, Joseph Newgarden is going to run laps around the Charlotte Roval following Cup qualifying on Friday. For those of you NASCAR fans that don't watch Indy or don't know any Indy, he was the one who just won the championship. So that's pretty cool. And please, God, please make me be right about the doubleheader.
Yes.
Because I predicted it'd be Chicagoland or the Roval.
I'd love either.
Perfect track.
Well, I just think that NBC having, covering both of them would be like, yeah, we kind of want to do that as our own thing.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm right. Brandon Jones will be returning to JGR in 2020. Nobody saw that coming.
No.
I don't know if he's still in the chat, but Slap Shoes. If you haven't checked out his video after this podcast, go check it out. He explored the remnants of the Airbase Speedway.
Great
awesome
production.
Series. Oh yeah, and I think he's almost at 40K subs. So,
almost at 40K in such a short time.
Let's get slapped to 50K by my birthday. Let's do that.
Slap. I'm just gonna ask you, man. We need shout outs, man. Like I got a mortgage to pay.
No, I'm good.
Anyway,
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Rumors. Yeah. Rumor mill is being spun around right now. That rumors are still flying around. Obviously, not about next year is what they're not saying they'll do it next year. So they've held that part off, but that pit stops being removed from the Xfinity and Truck Series and only being during different breaks, similar to what the K&N does.
Harris, is this real? Is this real? Can you confirm this? You're inside the sport. Is this real or is this some dumb?
I haven't seen anything come through my desk where I need to make a graphic for anything, so I don't know.
Okay, I'm just gonna take it as a no. I don't believe it. I'm not buying this. I just can't. Like, I know NASCAR has done some pretty dumb things.
What's the point of that? Like, there's not a point.
To cut costs, maybe. Like,
yeah, that's part of it. I mean, even Tommy Joe Martins was talking about it on Twitter too. That it could cut anywhere from up to $100,000 off of the bill that teams would have to pay.
And he even talked about it on the podcast a couple weeks back, just about the cost of like running and stuff, and it really opened my eyes. I was like, damn.
This is the thing. I'm so surprised people are surprised that people are going to be losing their jobs, because the whole point of downsizing is you're going to have to get rid of people. That's a similar what we'll talk about in a bit with them going to like a single body made by is it Dallara, I think?
Dallara.
Tomato. But basically, a bunch of people are going to be losing their jobs there. That's the price of downsizing, and that's the ugly side of it that I think a lot of fans weren't expecting. But in happier news for what fans probably weren't expecting, but it's pretty cool. Hendrick Motorsports got a new sponsor. Cincinnati Inc. Inked down a 10-year manufacturing partnership with Hendrick. And they'll be on the 88 car.
It's only a couple races for 2020 and one race this season, but hey.
10 years.
Yeah. 10 years is a big deal. I mean, in 10 years, it could change a lot. They could decide in that third or fourth year that they want to do more than just 2 races,
And finally, the people of Cincinnati can see a winning team that is not, because the Bengals aren't winning and the Reds certainly aren't winning anytime soon. So,
they only win against the Cubs, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Cubs fan right here.
Anyway, Dover got its sponsorship for its race, the Dryden 400.
The what?
Dryden
400.
Okay.
Yeah. Liberty University extended its sponsorship with HMS and William Byron 2014 through 2021.
That's not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either, but it's a good thing to report on. Matt DiBenedetto, there you go.
Matty D. There you go.
Matt DiBenedetto's Barstool diecast is now available if anyone wants it. And then according to Adam Stern, everyone really was happy about this one. Jack Daniels is back in NASCAR and RCR on the number 3 car. The car looks pretty badass.
So Austin Dillon is literally sponsored by Jack and Coke. Oh, that's pretty dumb.
I'm looking forward to the combo there. I want to see the
I want to see a combo too. Yeah,
I've seen some different people's designs with that, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I didn't think about that until somebody brought it up. I'm like, man, that's perfect.
I'm that weird guy that wants to see the 8 car go back away and bring back the 07 for some reason, because I really liked when it was an 07 Jack Daniels car.
Yeah,
that was a very
it's a nice design though. Yeah, the actual design's pretty nice. And also really quick, Jake in chat, go on the lvms.com website, because I've seen you ask who won the bull ring championships. Just go on the website and find out. Yeah, sorry, can't talk about it on here. All right, go ahead.
And Miller, I've noticed that too, but it's because I don't do it as often.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the lightning round. Everything else we can actually talk about.
All right, let's go.
But I find that funny. Darian messes up. It becomes a meme. I messed up. Nothing happens.
Yeah. Well, that's because I freaking promote it. I'm like, hey, I messed up. Here we go. Look at me. Yeah, you got to laugh at yourself sometimes, man. Or in my case, all the time. Yeah, got to laugh at yourself all the time.
That they said I can't be memed. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Carnation, if you're watching, help us out with that. But the next story I guess we can talk about is that according to Bob Pockris, teams will be buying 2021 car chassis from and bodies that are composite from vendors instead of sort of out of house. I guess what do you guys think the fact that it's sort of going to a spec series at this point, according to all reports?
I think David Land, he has a bit. David Land is more familiar with this because, isn't that what IndyCar basically is? That's the spec series, pretty much.
Well, like what they're doing at the bodies right now, at least composite, that's stuff that the Xfinity cars do right now.
Oh,
I'm so torn because at the same time, I know you want to keep the competition equal and you want to do all that. You want to cut costs, but at the same time, all these people that are more than likely, they'll probably get other jobs, but they're going to lose their jobs. With this
they're going to lose their jobs. Yeah,
I hate it, and I don't like that they're all going to basically a spec series like this. So I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. I think the more leeway and innovation you give people, the better you can make it.
I don't know. Would this somehow maybe make the racing a little bit better? Or
I think it'll just make cars closer together. In general, with how they run and with the drivers all being generally pretty close in talent, it's not going to make it better.
Yeah,
I don't see it making a difference because if the body's the same, it's still going to come down to who's got the better technology under that motor. So
right, it's just another way to cut costs basically, and unfortunately that means laying people off, and that's never a good thing.
I don't like it.
On the other end of the spectrum, I see it as a way for a more packed entry list. Think about the disparity right now, and there's teams out there with countless numbers of chassis and whatever. But if everyone's got the same chassis, somebody can come in, pay that fee, buy that chassis. I don't know. I've kind of seen behind the curtain at R&D and how we, go through and inspect every chassis with a microscope to make sure it's exactly within our bounds anyway. So we're already requiring these teams to build the exact same chassis. So we're just, you're cutting costs there, and I don't know. It's interesting. As an old school purist guy, and I grew up with a guy that built his own race cars. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what it'll do, and anything that can bring more teams into the sport, and make it more accessible, and give us a bigger car count. I'm all for.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I do miss the days where, like there would be like 40 or like, I don't know, like 50, 55 cars, qualifying for one event. And then like, only 43 would make it in. Would definitely like to see those days come back.
For sure.
I'll definitely have an open mind moving forward. I really hope the best for it. I just don't like seeing people lose jobs. They got families to feed, bills to pay, all that. So that's just the one thing I don't like. Yeah. Another story here really quick. This is a 2-in-1 we can do. So shocker, Christopher Bell's in the 95 next year.
It was a slow news day the other day.
Levine Family Racing has also announced they're enhancing their alliance with JGR in 2020, which pretty much proves what we've been saying this whole time, is that Matt DiBenedetto was not driving a Gibbs car this whole time like people kept thinking he would.
Or a Furniture Row car. Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is Matt DiBenedetto was not getting a car that Kyle Busch had won with at Bristol. He was probably getting a car that Eric Jones had a decent run in at another race.
Well, Bob Levine was telling us that after the race at Bristol, like, we don't have the same cars as them. Like, that's like everyone keeps saying we do. We don't have the same cars as them. And he's been very, very, very vocal on Twitter since I've followed him. Every day I open up Twitter and it's like,
and he's always saying something. He's saying something.
I'll give him credit. He's a great.
He's entertaining.
I applaud him for being an open book. He can literally say anything, and he's probably going to give you a response.
It's cool to see it from that perspective too, because that's one of the perspectives we never get. I mean, you look at these team owners, and they are all pretty professional and
they're so old, and they don't know how Twitter works, man. They're like 80, 70 years old, man. And then here you have Bob Levine just like, hey, you're an effing idiot or what? Doesn't exactly say that, but like, he's calling.
He's out here educating people.
I like that. Yeah, educating people. I like that.
He pays the bills. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, but Yeah, but back to Christopher Bell. I am very excited for this, though. I'm just really excited to see him in the Cup Series, whether it's, with Joe Gibbs equipment or just anywhere, honestly. I would like to see what he could do. Honestly, I've seen this around on Twitter and Instagram. Like, I don't know, like people are like, they're saying like, oh, the perfect dream team for Bell to be on would be him and, with Chip Ganassi and like him and Kyle Larson teaming up. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, that would be a good possibility someday. But right now, I mean, he's in some of the best equipment in the sport, and Joe Gibbs is investing more money into that team this next year. Like, I mean, Matty D was able to put together a solid season for that car and almost winning Bristol. So I'd have to imagine that Christopher Bell would perform just as well, or if not way better.
I'm just gonna say this: I don't think Christopher Bell needs to leave Toyota. Like, there have been, in my opinion, a lot of drivers come up with Toyota and end up somewhere else when if they would have just, been time, they could have stayed where they was on track for.
And I don't know, it just seems like Toyota, like, I mean, it's like, I think their mindset is you better run well now or we're going to kick you out, because they have so many, young kids in the pipeline. I mean, Chandler Smith, too, he's down there in ARCA, kicking people's butts. I mean, you got Ty Gibbs, too. He's doing his thing down there. And I don't know, you got, Hayley Deegan coming up through the ranks, and Derek Kraus, too, who Jarrett's very high on. And
that dude is
so underrated. He's so underrated.
He's going to be the most overlooked young prospect, and then he's going to come up and kick everyone's ass, and then
everyone's gonna be like, where'd he come from? What? Hey, there was more drivers than Hayley Deegan. What?
Don't get me wrong. Like, I think Hayley Deegan's gonna be a really, really great driver, but I think Derek right now I think he's better than her right now, talent wise. I think he's showing it off. I kind of hope he stays kind of overlooked, because if he gets a chip on his shoulder, I would love to see him come up through the ranks like that. But
I
Toyota
think he already has
overall,
it. Yeah.
Well, Toyota overall, though, man, like their biggest problem is I don't think they planned they planned with like a 2011, 2012 kind of mindset where there still were those extra teams or teams that these drivers could go to. Now with the sort of the downsizing, especially of the Cup field, and as well as more talent than what they can do with, there's no way they can keep them all together. Toyota's biggest strength is their weakness, I guess.
Yeah.
And they basically become
a ton of talent, but they can't.
Yeah.
They can only get them so far.
The Toyota's become the farm system for Chevy, at this point.
And also, you have to remember. It keeps going. You have to remember that Natalie Decker. She's. I was about to say she's good. I was about to say, well, she's in the pipeline. She could do something. Nah.
No comment.
No comment.
So
I don't expect any comment from any of us on that.
No.
I've already got a shirt that makes enough of my comment.
Yeah, go buy it.
So yeah, go buy it. Anyway, really quick. So some stuff for the 2020 schedule, both just individual races as well as the schedule itself. The start times were announced. No 1 p.m. start times, unfortunately, on this schedule. They're starting later in the day. They tried this. Here's the thing. I don't think start times matter too much with TV ratings, in my opinion. I think they matter a bit, but I when it comes to NASCAR fans, I think the ones who are going to watch them no matter what. Mm-hmm. They had this experiment in 2008, and it worked the first half of the year, but towards the end of the year when there's more stuff going on in the year, I think it hurt them more.
I remember like back then it was like, okay, if it's on the East Coast and it's a day race, we're starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. If it's on the West Coast, we're starting at 3 p.m. if it's a day race. And if it's a night race, don't matter if it's Eastern time, whatever time, it's 7:45 Eastern time.
But so they announced start times, which means the Pocono doubleheader is set in stone. There's start times for those. Those are both like the Saturday one, I believe, is 3 in the afternoon Eastern time, and then 3:30 is the Sunday one. So a bit later in the day, which, man, I hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah, I hope.
I hope it doesn't rain, because that'll be a big problem. I think if for Pocono, if you want to, I almost think you need to do the lower series after the main event, just because you need that time just in case it rains to get that in. You don't want that doubleheader weekend you've been hyping up for over a year to turn into nothing. But then really quick, another thing, the voting right now is open on Daytona's website and I believe NASCAR's website. Yeah. You can vote on how the tri-oval for the 2020 Daytona 500 looks. They got
vote number 2. Number 2. Yeah. I like number 2.
I like
right? That's the Stars one, right?
I like number 3, to be honest.
Vote option 2, y'all.
Wait, is number 3 the number 3 is the checkered flag one, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's kind of like a good like retro look. I like it.
Pretty classic, yeah.
I don't know. Number 1's pretty ugly to me, just with like the 5. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, but that's just me. About number 2.
Here's another story here. This one comes from Bob Pockris. And it's something else that's elaborating on something we already knew for the most part. So no title sponsor for Cup naming rights coming next year. NASCAR hoping to sell 4 to 5 elite 7-figure sponsorships that cover stuff like covering tracks, series, the digital platforms, and TV assets. So I guess, what do you guys think now that they're sort of explaining more where this money would be going towards, or at least representing?
I gotta give it to them. Trying out a new business model. I mean, to be honest, like the title sponsor model, I mean, it's been pretty stale. I mean, it's pretty It's very outdated. Excuse me. Freaking can't talk now. It's very outdated, and unfortunately, I don't know. Like they're just experimenting with some new business models as of right now, and I don't know. I think as far as I'm concerned, I think they already have Coke down too. I think they already have like something else down. Like
they're already
they always meme that. Yeah, they always meme me for that. but no, like they already have a few title sponsors down, and I also saw somewhere where it's like. Where it's like, okay, so if they stick with this plan, and then if there's not going to be a title sponsor, that maybe they could call it the NASCAR Grand National Series again. That'd be pretty. I don't know. That'd be a throwback. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, because that's what I'm sitting there wondering. Because it's like, okay, I'll call it just a NASCAR Cup Series if I have to.
Yeah.
But like and you got NASCAR Truck Series, that rolls off pretty good. But series in between, I've only ever called it Busch Series, Nationwide Series, Xfinity Series.
My mom still calls it.
Call that one.
Yeah, my mom still calls it. My mom still calls it the Busch Series still to this day.
Okay, whatever I just said, thought I was talking to Siri.
Big brother is watching.
Yeah.
Great to know that Siri is listening to the podcast as well.
Thank you, Siri.
Quick. We got 150 watching. Click that like button. We're at 69 likes, but we want to get to 100 instead. Mm-hmm. So lick that like button, guys. I know y'all can do it. And while you're at it, keep memeing Darian because it's fun.
Yeah.
This one, I guess, wow, I'm surprised. We really did rattle through those things fast.
Damn.
So Hayley Deegan. Well, if it can't be one of our podcasts unless we talk about Hayley Deegan. It seems like, I know people are getting sick of talking about her, but there's a reason. It's because according to Adam Stern, she is number 3 on NASCAR social media value and number 1 in total engagement. And in both categories, she ranks ahead of NASCAR's most popular driver. And ranks ahead of guys. I think in the social media value, I believe it was Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson are the only 2 higher than her.
Yeah, she's in the top 5. She was in the top 5.
It's like, so I guess I want to hear all 3 of your guys' thoughts on this one. I'll give mine. Like, what's your takeaway from the fact that somebody who's not even in a national touring series right now has this much pull already? I guess.
So the top 10 drivers, 9 Cup drivers and 1 K&N West driver. That is crazy. I mean, she does have a famous last name too. I mean, she is on a pretty big YouTube channel as well. And plus, like, she goes out of her way to, to basically engage with her fans. Like, I see her, replying to stuff all the time and stuff. And then, like, for me, like, I mean, me personally, I get a ton of DMs from some of you guys and stuff. And then I'm like, I don't want to reply right now and stuff. Like, I mean, I'm happy you guys are sending me stuff, but like, I'll reply later. But like, Hayley Deegan's always on it. Like, okay, I gotta reply to this, and that and stuff. And I really think her dad's really taught her that stuff too. I mean, especially in this day and age. Like, I don't know, like NASCAR. Like, I mean, they always lag behind other sports to me sometimes when it comes to social media. So like, I don't know, like NASCAR YouTube is sort of starting to become like, other sports communities now with the type of content and personalities they have. And then also you see on Twitter, Instagram, and then like, but drivers wise though, there's really nothing that interesting, but like Deegan's keeping it very interesting from that front. And once she makes it into the Truck Series, like, and once she starts winning, holy crap, it's going to expand like 3 times than it is right now. And then, as she keeps progressing to each series, it's going to be amazing too. I mean, I feel like, by the time she reaches the Cup Series, she will have just as much a pull into the sport as, the one and only Dale Earnhardt Jr. And I know that's saying a lot right now, but I mean, she could be approaching there pretty soon. She keeps going up the ladder.
She'll be up there, but I think the sport at this point isn't high enough to be up there with guys like Junior, Gordon, even Danica.
But she could push it up there though. I really think she could. I mean, even Real Radman even said it himself too. Yeah.
Well, I think it's a sign of the times and the sign of where we're going. She like us, we're basically born with a phone in our hands at this point. So she's using the resources that she's used, in her personal life, in her everyday life to elevate her career now. And that's something that, our elite drivers up in the Cup Series now haven't had to do, or they haven't, been evolved with it because when they got in the sport, it wasn't something that they needed to know. So you look at her, you look at guys like Tyler Ankrum, you look at these younger people in the Truck Series and in the K&N Series that are engaging because their fans are their age and their fans are the ones that are on, the social media channels, and they're using every bit of their resources that they have. And, it could be a mixture of the monster thing too. I mean, I know I've been at NASCAR since 2016 and I came in at the very end of the Sprint Cup era. And as soon as Monster came in, there was a shift. And there was a loosening of the reins. There was a more gritty, outlook, and there was a more willingness to do the things like Hayley's doing on her social channels. And I think it's a perfect storm of, the generation she's coming from and the way the social media and the environment is now. She's taking advantage of all of it.
Yeah, it's really something a lot of drivers of our age bracket are doing this. Another girl in the world of NASCAR I really like to use as an example of utilizing all your tools and assets you have available is Hannah Newhouse. Like what she's doing, even though she's not racing as much, as maybe she used to, she's doing so many more things within the sport that she's creating her own major impact in the world of it.
Oh yeah, definitely on the broadcasting side. Yeah,
she was on the Richmond fan TV this weekend, all over. You know, did a dance contest with the folks in the fan zone. You know, she
was on Colossus
out there.
Colossus all weekend. Yeah, when we were at Bristol or Colossus. What is it called again?
Colossus.
What did I say? Colossus.
Jeez, Colossus.
I know, another one. Colossus.
What are you
anyway,
Hanson or something?
I know. I'm talking like one of those guys. God damn it.
Let me go up to Minnesota. Anyway, here's the thing. Like, this is why it's going to be so hard for, I think, NASCAR as a sanctioning body not to want to force her up quicker than she needs to be. You know, as much as we've loved the flashy wins she's had and how aggressive she is, and I love that as from a driver. At the same time, like, she has to win more consistently on each level before going up. I think that the more she wins, the higher that social media value is going to go up. Not amongst NASCAR drivers. I'll be completely honest. Once this older crop of drivers pretty much retires and is out, you know, in the mid 2020s, around the end of the 2020s, I don't think there's going to be any driver outside of her that has a big pull whatsoever in the grand scheme of things. Which means that if she continues to win and then goes up, you know, each series proves herself, and then has that track record going up and into Cup, I think the potential is there to have the same kind of pull, you know, maybe as one of those old superstars or as somebody, you know, and we could talk about her not compared to other drivers or, you know, other, you know, NASCAR drivers, but compared to people like, you know, in other sports in general. But I think it's important right now not to let this stuff drive the view of her and the argument that she needs to go up quicker, because at this point, like, you know, she's going part-time truck next year and still full-time K&N, correct?
I mean, I think so.
The rumor, from what
That's
I
the rumor.
read, is that they may try to arrange something with a few truck series stars. I hope at least Eldora. So, I want to see her at Eldora.
Yeah, I want to see her make her debut there. Yeah.
So that's my thing. Like, she's not even making full-time truck starts next year. Like, and that shows, one, how great her marketing's been. Two, the power of a great last name, and three, the fact that she's been making the headlines right now. But man, it's too damn early to start saying that, you know, she's going to be driving the sport for 20 years. You know, for all we know, she could get her out, you know, headspace out of it, and she would be out of the sport in 5 years if she wanted.
Here's just something to consider. You have to consider with all female athletes. You know, she may decide she just wants, you know, if she meets a great guy, she may decide she wants to settle down and have kids. You know, we saw it just happen. Which of the Force girls was it? You know, she hadn't been doing it for real long. But
the Hood one, yeah. Brittany Hood I think that's her name.
She was doing really good in the world of NHRA, but she just decided, hey, I'm gonna step away because I want to go focus on I want to go raise a family.
Yeah, I mean, Deegan, though, I don't know. I mean, yeah, we don't know what could happen in 5 years and stuff. But I mean, again, like, I'll go back to this.
It's just a little more unpredictable. With athletes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like, though, you know, if she keeps progressing the way she does, like, I mean, she's on that trajectory to be up there, you know, with, like, you know, some of those household names in all of sports within, like, you know, in, like, you know, the next 10 years too. Yeah, so, like,
Ashley,
you know,
Force. That's who
Ashley Force. Yeah, Ashley Force. So, I mean, right now in the NFL, like, I'm just going to use other sports here. You know, they're superstars. Odell, you know, Antonio Brown, you know, I mean, but for other reasons though. Yeah. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes too. And, you know, and pretty soon, I mean, I feel like she can be up there and with that echelon of you know, of household sports names too in the future. She keeps going the way she's doing.
Yeah. I think other drivers should take notes. I mean, look at the early 2000s and how, you know, prevalent NASCAR was into our pop culture. I mean, I think she's headed that direction. And if some other drivers can take notes from her and follow her into that, you know, we had Danica and Dale Jr. in a Jay-Z video. So, you know, who's next? Who's the next, you know, who's the yin to her yang that they can go and just take over, you know, our pop culture again. And
it's weird.
Get us back into that space.
It's just weird because, like, I see I see a lot of, like, NASCAR, like, you know, like, retro T-shirts out there. Like, I mean, people obviously know about the sport. I mean, and, like, I see, like, a lot of these rappers and, like, musicians and, like, actors and all that stuff. Like, they're wearing these, like, you know, retro NASCAR T-shirts and stuff. But, like, you know, and everyone's getting, you know, like, you know, hella excited about that. But like, I don't know, like that's not going to get people to sit down and watch a race. Like we need more personalities and stuff. I mean, that's why.
You know what's crazy? Talladega is going to be a pretty full place. And you know, want to know why? Same reason that now I find myself, I'm going to Talladega. I was not expecting to, but now I am. It's going to be my bachelor party. Because one of my managers at my car dealership, he hasn't watched a race in a long time, but he knows about my channel, and he'll ask me some things every now and again. Well, then when he saw that Richard Childers was going to drive the 3 car in the pace laps, he's like, hey, is this true? I'm like, yeah. He's like, let's go.
Yeah, nice. I'm going. Yeah, there's little things like that will bring people to a race, man. It's crazy.
That about covers it. So I guess Danny, you can, before we do picks, I think you got a few super chats.
Yeah, got like 3.
We do. I was reading them a little bit. I got 2 separate $2 super chats from Carl Singleton.
Oh yeah, I saw one of those.
First one, he just said he doesn't support Deegan. Sorry, man, but you'll be a minority.
Come on, get on the bandwagon. Get on the bandwagon, man. Come on.
You'll be a minority on that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Another one from Carl Singleton. Congrats on your relationship, Darian.
Leave me alone.
Aww.
Just leave me alone.
I don't go public with anything.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't delete that. Why did it say I deleted that? Since I deleted a comment, I didn't. I'm sorry, Stream Bill. I didn't mean to delete it.
My bad, people.
My bad.
We got another one here, and maybe Darian, you'll like to answer this one. All these are for you, Darian. What's up? $5 from Big Blue Attack. Thank you so much, Big Blue Attack. Hey, Darian, if you do start an IndyCar channel, can you do a Gone Too Soon video on Greg Moore?
Yep, that's actually the first video I was planning on doing. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but it's going to be called IndyCars Matter, because IndyCars do matter. You guys disrespect them a lot. A lot of NASCAR fans disrespect IndyCar a lot.
Yeah, what is with NASCAR fans hate boner on IndyCar?
Because
I'm so sick of it, man. Like, I'm not even an IndyCar fan.
I mean,
I like anything with wheels. I don't get it either.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
if
I don't know,
races,
like,
I'll watch it.
Honestly, like what I've noticed is like my whole life, NASCAR fans, they will bash NHRA, IndyCars, F1, and all this stuff. It's like, why? You guys are basically the same thing, just like different, you know, in like a different category.
You're the same thing, but different.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing, but different.
No, we're different, but same. Different, but same.
We're
basically.
all against the stick and ball sports. Screw them.
Pretty much, yes. We're motorsports, basically. Just a different, you know, type of motorsport.
Got to stick together nowadays with the way it's going.
Yeah, but dude, IndyCar is so underrated, dude. Like, I mean, I was in one of Rusty's streams, and like Rusty was just going on and on, just like, oh, some of those races are boring. Like, dude, I've gotten so into it this year, man. Like, I mean, we had a pretty awesome race at Texas. Pocono, they need to just wipe that track off the schedule. Just take it out.
David Land versus Darian Gilliam about Pocono.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing coming out of Pocono in years.
We'll have a debate about that someday. And then also, you know, just the Indianapolis 500. It was okay at the beginning, but then, you know, towards the end, it, you know, had a fantastic finish, and like they're starting to develop their own personalities and brands there. Like, you know, I mean, Joseph Newgarden just won the championship. Alexander Rossi, man, like he's such a badass dude. That dude's such a badass driver. Yeah, I mean, he's so aggressive, man. And then Colton Herta, who was on David Lane's channel. You know, he's a 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, man, just starting out his career. Became the youngest driver ever to win an IndyCar race. So, I mean,
listen, about Rossi, if you can flip somebody off while going 200 miles an hour while driving one hand, you've got my respect, because like I love watching people get flipped.
That's crazy. Like I was showing my stepdad this. I was like, "Hey, come here, come look at this." And he's like, "What the f? Like, did you just flip him off going on the straight?" I'm like, "Yeah, going 200 with one whip." Yeah.
My grandpa and I are sitting there watching it. Like, man, we need one of those guys in NASCAR. Like, well, we got Clint Boyer, but he doesn't run well. Like,
yeah. He runs decent. He's decent. Mediocre, I guess. Yeah, he's mediocre.
Mediocre. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. He's not terrible.
Here's something just thrown out here because it would have been perfect for the lightning round because it slipped my mind. The NASCAR Heat Pro League, which is happening right now in the playoffs. Hope everything's going good with them. They got a sponsor in for the playoffs, a big one, Coca-Cola. That's pretty huge right there.
Oh yeah, and they are currently looking for a title sponsor. Their racing has improved a ton, and I mean NASCAR Heat
better than the
Force.
first one.
Yeah, way better than the first one. That first one. Yeah, remember that video?
Yeah, that was fun to tell me.
I will say this, like, when the nights when I'm having to work late, not able to make it to the podcast, sometimes I find myself really going back and forth between the pro league and the podcast. I'm like, I'm really enjoying.
Oh yeah, a lot of fans do, and also shameless plug. This off season, Core season 2. Let's go. We got a couple of guys from there, so yeah, a couple guys.
It's been awesome watching the esports thing grow just from nothing. I mean, it didn't exist, when I started at NASCAR, and having Tim Clark, our NASCAR digital media head, put the initiative behind it with Brandon Williams, and then the willingness for them to push boundaries and put people together and make things happen. It's been really cool watching that. And huge shout out to Coca-Cola. They also jumped on the preview show with like Jonathan Merriman and them on our NASCAR YouTube channel. So Coke's throwing us quite a few bones and making big things happen. So it's been pretty cool seeing that happen this season.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that it for Super Chat?
As far as I know.
Oh, and speaking of drinks, let's get a Mellow Yellow.
There's a Coke product right there.
There you go. Get Mellow Yellow to sponsor the podcast, man. So good.
Yeah. Come on, Coke. You ain't plugging this enough.
Well, I guess that just leaves us to Roval picks.
Oh, the Roval. Let's do it.
So, who wants to go first and say that who is going to suck?
Everyone.
Everyone. No, I'm just kidding. I will go first. Is Fastenal running on Stenhouse's car this weekend?
Let's find out.
Can someone find out?
Hold on. I got it right. I got the entry list right here.
If not,
I feel like it won't matter. Like, this week is such a punch in the gut for him.
Yeah, it's such a punch in the gut. It's just gonna be like, oh, I'm done.
No, it's a Sunny D car.
Oh, okay, all right. You know what? But he did wreck here last year though.
Everyone loves the Sunny D car though.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Stenhouse. I mean, he found out today, that he's gonna get let go, and it's unfortunate for him. I'm happy to have Chris Buescher in that ride, but I don't know. I just think he's gonna be out of it, and just for the rest of the season, he might just completely check out. So he's already not doing good enough as is, so that might have just done it for him. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr., or in this case, Ricky Spenhouse, is gonna suck this week. I love the nickname.
All right, so you said Stenhouse. I'm gonna put that down. I don't know why I copied this down. I never go back and look at them. Now let's remember. I also am talking about who's gonna suck. We're talking about that in context a lot. This guy last year didn't lead a single lap, which was really weird for this guy. He didn't run very well. He was outside the top 10 a lot of the day, and he ended up finishing 32nd last year. Kyle Busch. I'm picking Kyle Busch as my suck pick in a relative term, because if he's outside of 8th position, he doesn't do well.
Bad day.
It's a bad day for Kyle Busch. You see those Winston Cup points I put in my community tab, and you see how well he's doing. Is
he up by like 400? Like by 400 points?
It was almost 400. Now it's 238.
Jeez, that's still a big lead though.
Yeah, but he lost half his lead in 4 weeks.
Damn, he's slacking. Stop slacking, KB.
Yeah, he really.
But nobody could make it up in the Winston format.
He really can't afford another bad one after what happened at Vegas, but.
Oh, he's locked in. He's locked in though on points.
Yeah, he made it in on points.
Well,
yeah.
But I don't know.
Got that insurance.
You took the one.
His premium went up.
You took the one I was going with. I was going to say Kyle Busch as well.
Damn.
And I saw people in the chat too were saying, "Damn."
I know I sang Martin Truex's praises earlier, but I don't know if he's going to suck, but he could afford to take it easy this weekend. So he might not do as hot as he did last year because he doesn't have to. So we'll see. I don't know.
What do we say? Like a top 10, top 15 run, something like that?
I'd say he plays it safe, and he top 15. You'd stay out of that melee that Brad K caused last year. You might be able to scoot by on the inside like he
when
did.
When Brad K's controller died.
Yeah, his controller.
Yeah, the batteries went bye-bye.
Yeah, they died pretty much.
I don't know. I'll go with Truex. I'll throw out another big one there.
I don't know.
Nice.
He didn't have to win last week either. But
So we have 17, 18, and 19 as our suck picks. I'm glad.
Oh, we just realized that. Yeah, win in order too.
Maybe if Eric was here, we'd have 20. No, wait, that's right.
No, there's no way. Nah.
Anyway, dark horse picks.
I'm going with Eric Jones. He's going to go balls to the walls this weekend, do whatever it takes to win. I don't think he's going to win. I do think he will finish inside the top 3, though. I do think luck will finally be on his side, and hopefully the post-race tech gods will be on his side as well. So Eric Jones, he has nothing to lose at this point. So 45 points outside the cutoff. Go win it, man. Eric Jones.
Well, my underdog pick, I feel like I'm going to steal another one from Danny here. My underdog pick, he did really well here last year, ran very competitively in a year that I thought it was relatively mediocre and not as good as this year. Finished 4th. I'm going with the showman, the Bowman, Alex Bowman is going to win.
Yeah, exactly the same for me. He was up as high as 3rd. He was a top 5 car that day last year, and he really surprised me with how great he was running there. And I think that's a run like what he had a year ago will do exactly what he needs to in order to get himself into the next round. So Alex Bowman, he's my underdog. He may not win it, but I think he'll get a top 5.
I'm going to go with another must-win situation and go Kurt Busch here. The tenacity he's shown this year and just being able to pull stuff off in random times. His success earlier this year with Ganassi. I don't know. I think he might, he's going to come balls to the wall regardless. And if it pays off, it pays off. So I'd like to see, Kurt be my dark horse pick and see him come back and, make the must-win situation pay off.
Well, I see in the chat, Denny Delivers put the latest one, but a lot of people are picking DiBenedetto as their dark horse. Finished 13th here last year and has finished great on the road courses so far this year. He definitely is up there on the dark horse.
If it wasn't for me considering more in relation to the playoffs right now,
I'd pick him.
I couldn't decide between Bowman or DiBenedetto, but Bowman for more of an obvious reason.
I don't think I'll be completely honest, and this might be a little out there, but I don't think DiBenedetto is a dark horse at all anymore at some of these driver skill based tracks. I really don't. I think he should be considered at a short track or at a road course as a true contender instead of a dark horse.
Hey, there you go. Giving him his props. Yeah.
So who's gonna win?
All right. So pop quiz. Who finished 2nd in this race last year?
Who cares? I don't know.
The chat will remember. All right. Who's driving his car now?
Kurt Busch.
Kurt.
Yep. That's right. That's exactly. Kurt's going to win. He is in a must-win situation. He's got a knack for these road courses, man. And I don't know. Just something about him this weekend. He's going to be all fired up. Him and that team, they're going to get all fired up, man. And he's gonna go out and he's gonna get his 2nd win of the season and a must-win situation this weekend. So Kurt Busch, he's gonna win.
See, I would have laughed if you would have done that whole thing. Like, who finished 2nd here last year? McMurray. Who's driving the 1 car this year? Kurt Busch. So you know who my pick is? Jeff Gordon. No, something like that.
Confuse it. Just make no sense. Yeah.
There's something way out there. I was actually kind of expecting that. It's like, who's your pick this week? Daniel Suarez.
I thought you literally had no clue, and you were going to say, whoever finished 2nd is going to win. McMurray.
No. I've had this plan, guys. I had this planned out. See, when I plan out things, it actually works out. But then when I do things on a whim sometimes, it's like, oh, it's like, why'd I do that? But no, I had this plan.
Well, I'm wondering if I'm going to go 3 in a row on this one of picking the same one Danny did. But this guy last year probably should have won. He was up front in the last corner. And I think that he's going to stay at least in one area. I'm going to get 3 in a row here. I think that Truex gets 3 in a row. I think he will be winning at the Roval, and I don't think it's going to be close this time. I don't think Johnson's going to screw it up for him because I don't think Johnson's fast enough to be up there anymore. Man, I've been ripping on Jimmy a little bit.
Hey, don't rip on 7 Tom, man. Show him some love.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's fine until Roots gets in the chat. But
I love you, Jimmy.
Anyway, I'm picking Martin Truex Jr. as my pick. I think that he's got the speed, he's got the momentum, he's got the wherewithal. He's got any other thing that he's got. So he'll be the winner this week and add to those playoff points. I think he'll get he'll get 7 playoff points this week.
And also, if he wins 3 in a row, that he will join Joey Logano and Jimmy Johnson as the only 3 drivers to win 3 races in a row during the playoffs.
How'd that work for Logano?
It didn't work out because he didn't advance. And Johnson, in 2007, Johnson did win the championship. So.
Okay, but for Johnson, it was different. That was the old chase format.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't have won with the playoffs.
Yeah, he wouldn't have won with the playoffs and stuff. But he still won in the final 10 in the playoff era, though, 3 in a row, though. So
chase and playoffs are different, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they're absolutely different. But I don't know. I just put them in the same category. But if it's not Winston Cup points, if it's not consistency, just throw it all in. Throw the rest in.
And throw it in the
yeah, basically.
To answer, Jarrett, yes, you were correct. I was Truex. For the same reasons.
I knew it.
For the same reasons, Johnson's not going to be in the way this year, and he's going to come out of the chicane just fine, and with another victory.
I can't believe we did that. That's the first time in so long that we 2 people on the panel had the exact same picks the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know I picked Kurt as a possible winner, but I got to go with the 6 car here. Newman is going to make that car so wide nobody can pass him, and he's going to take it. He's going to take it here.
That's bold.
This is his track.
If he can bring that car back on the short tracks, he can bring it back on a Roval. I'm trying to see the 6 car back in victory lane and be there and watch it with my own eyes.
Now that I think about it, it's not that bold of a pick. I mean, he ran in the top 5 last week. So,
hey, if he qualifies well, we'll
and
see.
Plus, he doesn't let anyone else pass him. So, what better place to do it at than the Roval?
Hardest guy to pass on the track.
Yeah.
Let's see where Mr. Newman finished here a year ago.
You know what's funny is that would actually be nowadays, because of the last couple of weeks, that would turn into one of the most unpopular wins.
You know what? I might have to put some money on that. I don't usually bet, but let me go look at Newman's odds and maybe I'll put some money on that. Might win some money.
He finished 11th here a year ago.
Oh, so he's gonna finish first. Yeah, he's gonna finish first. Just take one of the ones away, and you got first place. Yeah, so maybe this year.
Let's see all the people that was ahead of him. We can take out AJ Allmendinger. We can take out McMurray. So that's at least 9th.
Can take out probably Johnson at that point.
Yeah, Johnson.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone, man.
Leave Jimmy alone.
And that was in a different car. The 6 car is looking up, man. We'll see.
It is, man. It really is.
Also, none of us picked him for our suck pick. I don't see Blaney having another good run here. Even though he won it a year ago, I don't see a good one.
Watch he comes out and wins in complete and utter domination.
Yeah, it's
You know what? We've seen that happen before. A driver just barely win it, and then next year they just dominate the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, last year Kyle Larson dominated the whole race, and then that final caution came out.
I'd leave it to Ian Miller in the chat here about being right on this. I do believe that's the first time that I've seen someone pick Newman to win on the podcast.
No, I picked him for Darlington last year.
Oh,
that's the second time. Yeah, I beat you to it.
Why?
He had a good throwback last year.
Yeah, he had a good throwback last year.
And he's good at Darlington.
Yeah, he has like a 9.6 average finish at Darlington or something like that. It's crazy how good he is.
But that's the first time this year someone's picked.
Yeah, first time this year. Yeah, first time this year though. But yeah.
Leave it to the art guy to be different.
Yeah, there you go. Leave it to the art guy.
You artists are always so different.
Yeah.
I see in the chat real quick, we got 88 likes. Again, nice number. But we want 12 more. We're greedy.
Yes, we need 100.
Get to 100. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes before we sign out here.
Come on, guys. We have Alex Bowman likes. We need Ryan Blaney Moore. Come on, guys. Come on.
Now we have Morgan Shepherd. We need Denny Hamlin. Now we have Bill Elliott in the later years of his career. We need Ryan Newman.
Yes.
Now we have Carl Edwards, and we need Kurt Busch. That was quick.
There we go. 100. Thank you, guys. Woo! Let's go. Thank you, guys. Appreciate
now we can sign out. That's actually our key to leave. We can't leave the stream unless we hit 100. But yeah, that was fun, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Harris. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank y'all for having me. This was awesome. So
where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Lou Creative, LueCreative, or on Twitter at Harris Lou. On Twitter is my more NASCAR side. Instagram is my more Mustang side. But they tend to mix back and forth every now and then. And I got a YouTube channel here at Harris Lou. I did a rebuild on one of my cars last year. So you can watch a little a couple of episodes of me making a fool out of myself working on a car too.
Nice.
But yeah, and then follow NASCAR on all of our social media channels and everything, so you can see mine and my coworkers' work come up mixed in with all the great photos that the social media team takes.
That's good to hear.
Sweet, man. And Darian is right. Connor's on next week.
Yes, Connor Bunn from the Follow the Lead podcast, FAH, Follow the Lead podcast, will be on the podcast next week. And also, I will maybe a driver, maybe. I will try and pull some strings. I'll talk to a few people and see if they want to come on. We might have a driver on next week.
And how tight are those strings, Darren?
Excuse me?
How tight are those strings?
That sounds so dirty.
That's why I was like, what? I don't know. We're gonna see. Pretty tight, I guess. But it's a very young and up and coming driver. So I'll just put it.
And then it's scheduled to be on Eric's, but if it can't be on Eric's, it'll be on Darian's.
Yes, it'll be on mine. So yeah.
Nice. Black Flags Matter.
Yeah, Black Flags Matter.
No. Yes. So you got a super chat before we head out here.
Oh, thank you.
It's about me again.
Appreciate the $2, Carl, but can't wait for Darian's IndyCar channel.
I can't wait either. I don't know. Again, I don't know when I'm gonna finally make it, but it'll happen eventually, though.
Oh, and if you want a meme that came out of Bristol on a shirt, check out my Teespring channel. I'm just gonna say that. I'll share it more in a video sponsored by me.
Yes, sponsored by yourself. Wait, do you have it linked to your YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's in my channel.
Okay,
just
cool.
About.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that seems like it's about it, guys. That seemed pretty fun.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Yeah.
One of the best podcasts we ever had.
Yeah.
So Danny, are we doing the outro that never ends?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we're doing like the 4-minute one. Yeah, he has this 4-minute one, and it's like do with the music.
We're not doing that again.
Yeah, no, that was a one-time deal.
Hey, guys, chill. This is my channel. I'll end it here.
You got to do the watch time.
Hey, subscribe to this guy. This is the Iceberg. Subscribe to this guy. This is Black Flags Matter. And go check out this guy. This is Harris Lou. This is Danny B, host of Danny B Needs a Minute and all the other great content I have on this channel. Guys, I've been kind of behind. And I've been sitting on a script for a little bit. Going to be doing a special video on one of the most rising drivers in all of NASCAR. No hints. Other than that, we'll get it out to you when I can. But after I get that one, I've been thinking, I've got a whole list of more forgotten NASCAR drivers. I'm coming back. 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about. We're going to be coming back with more of those probably sometime next month. And then in 1 month, exactly pretty much, on October 26th, my wedding, these 2 guys are coming in. I haven't said it. I don't know if I really said it in public. This guy, the Iceberg, he is my best man at my wedding. And I'm looking forward to seeing these 2 guys when they get here. And
I'm in line. I'm just in the line. There we go.
He's a groomsman as well.
I'm a groomsman.
With that
I'll take
being
it.
said, this has been the podcast on Danny B's channel, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
This ain't the end of me. All the things that Rock